And to wrap us up for today, Councilmember Tiffany Thomas.
All right, let's close it on up. Congratulations to the Astros. Only in this city can you ride a parade and do the South Side downtown. Like, it's only appropriate in Houston. The energy was big in the city. And as someone who has been on floats in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, like the energy was, you could feel it in the air. So it's a good time to be in Houston. And so just thank you, everyone that came out. I wish I picked up that trash because the streets is a mess. But nevertheless, it was just, they're hanging on the roof of Specs. They're in the trees. They're sitting on on the statues. It was going down in H-Town. But just congratulations to everyone, and definitely Susan's team, phenomenal, just exceptional. The ability to turn the city into that type of situation it's always impressive. An announcement, as of November 1st, the Houston Harris County Emergency Rental Assistance Program has suspended applications. So I just want to keep that in front of you. We have exceeded the funding that has been received. So as constituents continue to reach out, because you know that they do, let them know that there are no more applications that they are receiving. And so there are a substantial number of residents that are still in the queue, but we do not have the funding financially, federal dollars, to support that. So just want to remind you, as y'all interact with your constituents, still dealing with the impacts of COVID and evictions. Also, for District F, the 50 LPR cameras that we purchased in District F, those are in process. I want to appreciate that. We were actually slated for phase 2, but they're moving. They've prioritized that, so those will be up. And also having conversations with solid waste to add cameras in District F for illegal dumping. Neighborhoods have specifically requested cameras. So I had a conversation with the director at State of the City and appreciate his willingness. And then I introduced him to Barbara Quattro. So so then he got to get it done, because Bob Quattro said, we're not playing, I need these cameras. So that's in process. We're doing what we can with that. I had a couple of other announcements. There's a concrete batch plant on Wilcrest and Westheimer, and a resident had actually raised the point about having air quality monitors. So my chief of staff has initiated that conversation so we can start getting those monitors in place, and it's actually across the street from the gym that I work out at. Actually, Doug Smith raised the point. And so shout out to Doug. And so we're working with that to make sure that we can improve our quality of air and just really monitor that area, because I know we have the Chromium 6 and now there's a concrete batch plant, so we're trying to monitor that. In closing, I'll share some personal news. I am a recipient, as you know, I'm going up for tenure at Prairie View Fall 23, and I received a grant funded by the N. Joyce Payne Research Center, and this is deeply personal research work that I'm pursuing in my spare time at City Council. And it's called Grandma's House, Heirs, Properties, and Black Land Loss in Texas. Most people don't know that there are more African Americans living in Texas than any place in the United States. However, there's no central database for the collection of heirs, properties, and I will not forget January 20th of 2020, Mr. Brown came to council, and I don't know if you remember that, and he said, Mayor Turner, where we live and where I grew up, we wasn't doing no wills. Everybody know my uncle gave me that house. Right. And at that moment, I was like, he's an heir. And the lack of generational wealth that he's missed and the inability to participate in that Harvey program because he doesn't have clear title impacts more for African Americans than anyone. And so I'm pursuing that work in my other life, but I think it'll be meaningful for how we do policy at the city, in the state, and the federal level. So very rich. I'm excited about that. Lastly, happy birthday, Miss Bernita. Yeah. So this is the only person I know that never has a bad attitude. I don't know, because I do sometimes. And she always has a smile on her face. She's always like helpful, willing, and just thank you for everything that you do for us, while also taking care of your staff. And lastly, congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Andrew Colton. They welcomed a baby girl. They live in Broad Meadow, so we have a new baby in District F. That concludes my comments. Thank you.